Alright, so I'm about to head out to my friend Anthony's place, and we're gonna shoot a little photo concept with some film that I had in mind. It's gonna be the last shoot of a trio of concepts that I have with one singular theme. We're also gonna do a little interview, or I'm gonna interview him, and that's gonna be the first episode of a series that I had in mind. It'll basically be revolving around, my friends who are also artists, and just yapping with them about how they got started with their work and where they are now, what they see in the future, etc., and just, having a good session with these lesser known people that are still building it up, just like myself, and then our journey together and our journey towards, our dreams and what we want to create. So it's gonna be fun. It's a long drive to get there, so let's get started. Let's go. We're driving to the buddies. 3, 2, 1, drop.
Hey, dude, sorry, don't want to wait.
Ready, 3, 2, 1, drop. Yay! I think I got it, asshole. We're gonna go to a park, I don't know where.
Dude, there's a duck over there, bro.
Wait, that's like...
It's a frisbee.
Waterway.
Where's the green chair at?
Camera
You might be wondering
speeds.
how I'm talking to you.
Oh, I have to log into my questionnaire, fuck. Well, hello guys, welcome to the first episode of I didn't really think of what this was going to be called, so it's going to be called whatever it is going to be in the title.
Yep.
I have my first person here, and
So-
Anthony is a pretty good friend of mine, I think.
You think?
Please. See, this is actually an excuse for me to ask my friends to hang out with me because no one really wants to...
It's okay, man.
Do you want to introduce yourself, Anthony?
Yes. Hey guys, I'm Anthony. Obviously a good friend of Lorenzo. Yes, it's not baby. We're good friends, brother.
Yeah, that's why we're sitting so far apart on this bench.
Yep.
The first question, how did you start, wanting to do, video shit? You know what I mean?
So it all started when I was young. I just...
Stereotype.
It all started when I was young.
Not this shit again.
And back in the day...
My father. Oh.
Basically, I was just inspired by a group of YouTubers. I'll say the name, Corridor Digital, right? They're really great guys, and they did all sorts of creative and really fun projects, and they were all based on games. Obviously, I was like, oh, dude, this is awesome. Portal, that was really fun. I still remember I had a video.
The original Portal?
Yeah. They did a VFX short of portal gun uses and just fun ideas. And I remember I had my Samsung phone, and because I had no portal gun, I had no special effects, I grabbed a hanger and I held it at the little thingy, and I'm a kid, right? And I put the FPS shot to emulate a portal gun. Camera had the pause and play, so it would do the cut. So I just jump cut as if I teleported somewhere. So that was my first ever attempt at trying to do something. Yeah, my first hit, just pausing and playing a recording. So since then, I just kept, I guess consuming media really, because I didn't have people around me that were interested, at least not where I grew up. So I just kept consuming media, getting into edits, fan edits, anime edits.
Guys.
But it got me in there.
It's one of those.
Yeah, I know. God, he edits anime, bro. Oh. Depending on the circumstances or where I'm at in my life, I can be really quick to grow on my own and do a lot of things on my own, or I can be really quick when it's with somebody. So it's kind of like a weird frequency type thing where it's sometimes I'm up here and I can do everything on my own, and sometimes I'm down here and it's better when I'm doing it with people. That's kind of how I started. And then just throughout high school, just trying more things out, trying more things in the program. And then I did the short film for Bear Fest. And that short film, our team won the, I think it was the best cinematography for that one, which was awesome. Cause not to boast or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? But so I focused on the short film. And so being able to win, best cinematography. Obviously, I didn't just be like, no, that was my award.
Everyone else sucked here.
God, that was me. But everyone was rooting for me. Everyone on my team was like, oh man, like this is you, bro.
Yeah.
Like you did that, you made that, you edited it. And I put a lot of hard work into that. I was on a really shitty ass laptop. Couldn't handle what I was doing at the time. And not a slight, because my dad got these laptops for me, but obviously with the way that tech was going and like 4K videos were just like, on the rise, and then having a camera capable of doing all that stuff, the laptop wasn't able to handle it very well. So I remember sitting there and with like he was a creative director at the time, watching the playback.
Yeah.
And it's just on After Effects. And keep in mind, I was even worse, I was editing on After Effects. So that made it even harder for me.
That's crazy.
Right? And so I'm just hitting the playback and it's just I was just like, give it 1 second.
Promise, guys, no, like walking away.
Yeah, wait.
No.
It was awesome. So being able to win that and like being in like the Tobin Center.
That's crazy.
And being on stage and stuff like that.
So was just a high schooler, dude?
Yeah, dude.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was sick. So
you were the shit.
the shit was
You're that guy.
Yeah, hell man.
Look at us now.
Yep. Here I am. Here I am. Broke. Cold. Hungry.
He's a true artist. He's a true artist.
Yeah, I'm a true artist.
They only realize it post-mortem. Oh, fuck.
This guy's stuff was good,
This is the
bro.
shit.
Whoa, bro.
But if you did have the opportunity to pick up everything and move to like an LA or even just like a Dallas or an Austin, right? Like, I don't know, no strings attached. Would you just do it? Would you go like, would you leave everything? Because you would have to leave everything, right?
Dude, yeah. I mean, like, aside from my lovely relationship, of course, and handling like long distance. You guys don't know this. She's behind me.
She's right behind me, isn't she?
Everyone has like infinite potential at any point in their life, right?
Yeah.
Like whether you're 5 years old or like 30 years old, there's still an infinite amount of things that you can do that can get you to some amazing places. And that's definitely shown today in like social media.
Yeah.
Whether it's for a good reason or not,
definitely,
you know,
100%.
people can do just one thing and then it's like, oh my gosh, like all of a sudden I'm surrounded by people I never thought I'd be able to be surrounded by.
But just that one like, gateway opportunity or gateway action
Yeah.
leads to that.
Like,
It's crazy.
It is always possible. Your life can always change in an instant in any kind of way. But also at the same time, thinking deeper about it, I think one thing I like to think of is like, okay, let's say you have, I don't know, a 50-year-old guy who spent 10 years learning rocket science. And then he says, oh my gosh, I've solved this formula. And that's really, really difficult to solve. Everyone's gonna be like, oh my goodness, you worked so hard. This is an amazing like professor or amazing, person. And of course, he's gonna get the claps, he might get a prize, whatever like that. But if a 5-year-old solved that same equation, the reactions would be extraordinarily different. And the support that 5-year-old would get would be endless. He would be showered with scholarships.
Yeah, like he's
Dude,
next up.
Exactly. Every high-end Ivy League would want him, because I mean it's good for publicity and whatever,
100%,
and then like all the future potential of this child is even bigger than those that are later. So it's like I still believe that everyone has infinite potential, but I think it's also realistic to think that like depending on what you're able to do at a certain point in your life can also determine the kind of things you have access to sooner than later.
You just did nature versus nurture.
I know, right?
You just explained
I'm basically
nature
right.
versus nurture in this like. So the professor did the thing.
Yeah.
But if this child did.
Yeah, like if I had the ability, with no strings attached, if I had the ability, like, okay, I'm not worried about money, my money's okay, and I can go wherever I wanted to and have, not whatever gear, but like even the gear I have now, yeah, I would go somewhere else instantly because it is just a fact that like where you're at also determines the kind of opportunities you have. Because me in San Antonio, I'm never gonna meet, I don't know, but like maybe like 0.2%, maybe 0.02% of like individuals that are like near the top media-wise.
Yeah.
Like I'm never gonna see them.
Exactly. Because they're not in this space.
They're not here. Yeah, there's no reason for them to be here. At least as far as I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe there is someone here, but
And then like on the flip side, like there's no reason for them to interact with you in like a plain sense because like they can just find that equivalent or even better in like their own markets. Like why would they like
yeah.
why would they even like respond to your reach out, right?
Yeah, like it'd be like, especially like let's say even for a company, like in LA, for example, like just me being here in San Antonio is more than enough for me to be dropped out of consideration.
Yeah, exactly.
So just being in a different place determines the people you can meet, the companies you can apply to, and actually have a higher chance of getting in. So it's like, if I had the ability to leave here, I would instantly to develop my career and meet those.
What do you think, like, other than like, just like obviously like networking is like an easy answer of like
Yeah.
of like the market in San Antonio. But what do you think is like the issue of like San Antonio in terms of like creatives in general and especially our like film video scene?
I think starting at the top, it's what the city wants for itself, right? Like if they're not pushing certain things, they're not gonna attract certain things or people. If the city isn't heading in that direction, then naturally it's not going to be developed in that way. The presence of the city, what the city has to offer. It's funny because you said the nature versus nurture thing, but boy, do I have something else to bring up, right? Oh, geographic luck, guys. Guns, germs, and steel. Jared Diamond, all right? I'm not saying the question, but like that was the idea of like these people have all these developed things and these people don't. Why is that? It's like, okay, well, where they're at, then have these things. Yeah. It's like, well, while one group of people in this part of the world got, I don't know, a donkey, the other people got horses, dogs, sheep, apples.
Because of where they were and where those animals lived, right?
And so things were able to happen
because
like that.
Because of that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like same, I think in a way that kind of applies here too. It's like, okay, well, the city's not giving this, it's not doing this, it's not going for this, then the development-wise, it's just not going to happen. And not to say that there definitely are a lot of social media influencers that are present here, for sure. And that's not to say that there aren't, just because they're not in the space that I'm wanting to be in. Because they exist, they're here, whether it's foodies or like, just like comedians, artists, they exist here for sure. But it's just not necessarily the place I'm wanting to be in.
I feel like also, but like in like the smaller level, like creatives here are less collaborative. Like we were mentioning before, the few that do make it realize like how they did make it, and then they close the door for the rest.
Yeah, they're like,
There's no like, just like collaboration for the sake of just collaboration. Like, let's just do this thing. It's there for the select.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that too. Because I think when we were talking about that too, the other thing as well was also that on top of closing the door, like what can also happen is them leaving because there's no reason for them to be here anymore, right? So it's like
because they can prove themselves in that bigger
space. Yeah,
exactly. They're just like, well, I mean, it makes sense for me to go this way because I want to grow.
Yeah.
So they naturally will be like, I'm leaving. Saying it bluntly, I think I just want to be able to make whatever I want to make. But to me,
that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people, right?
Want to do that, yeah.
But to me, again, going past just a blunt, like surface level thing, the closest thing to that currently is in social media or influencer routes. Like, for example, if you have a channel of people that just want to blow things up and that's what they want to do, well, they're getting paid to do that.
What an example.
I know, it's crazy because it's true. Like, hey, mom, dad, I'm gonna blow things up and get, that's my full-time job. I mean, that's kind of military, to be honest. But
so you're trying to join the military, son? I was gonna start a YouTube channel, but I guess, do they do that too?
But you get my point. It's like
I'm gonna work for Raytheon.
Lockheed Martin. That's what I think. Because like, if your channel, your community is grown around the thing that you want to do, if people find it interesting or care enough to invest their time and energy and money into it, it's like, oh man, suddenly you'll find yourself in a position. People have found themselves in positions of like, oh, I can just do what I want to do, and people love this. And there's still like a scope to that where it's like you can't literally do anything you want to do, because then if you have a successful channel doing one thing and you're like, I'm gonna start doing cooking tutorials. Okay, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot a little bit. Exactly. The only reason I don't say anything Hollywood related is because I know how messy that space is, especially right now. But to a certain degree, like if you're a really famous cinematographer, you're able to do the same thing of doing whatever you want within the scope of the project. I want to create things also that like either people can enjoy and laugh, or like laugh to, or they'll be deeply moved by it. Mm-hmm. Creating putting quotes on it, because I'm not a perfectionist, but like masterpieces where I can look at it and be like, oh, this was a gem, this was a diamond piece right here. This is a beautiful. So that's what I want.
But that's good though. Like I think that's like a lot of like people in our like stage, right? We're like young creators, and we don't know exactly what it is, but we just want to, make a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just make people like feel something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's all I want, man. But man, money.
But we can't get that. Anyways. We can't get that, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah, screw my dreams, I guess.
Dreams are stupid.
God, man.
I made a little tier list for
I haven't
Anthony.
seen this yet.
I'll record it with my phone so everyone can see it. I made the best and worst camera brands tier list because nobody gives a shit about, struggling creators. Nobody gives a shit about all this theory and hypotheticals. Everybody cares about gear. Okay. So it has literally all the different brands from
Man, that's crazy.
even those that don't make cameras anymore, maybe, I don't know.
Dude, which one's this one?
You have to find it out.
Well,
Hasselblad. But you know about Hasselblad.
We're gonna put this one S tier, bro. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That one's
Like those
that
big,
one's just
those
goated,
big
bro.
medium formats.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Apple, I'll put it at B, not because they're bad.
Filmed on Apple though.
Yeah, filmed on Apple.
Filmed on this one.
Filmed on Apple. Very convenient. But compared to the other brands I hear, I mean, come on. Is that Lumix? Is that?
I think that's Lumix.
All right. Well, I'll put it at A tier. Only because
if it is Lumix, then we can put A tier.
Yeah, I'll put A tier.
The S5 is really good.
Their models are really, really convenient. Like if you're in the same space. But I do know I think I noticed that while getting their cameras are really great, especially if you want to save a little bit more money on your lenses, is that I think they kind of been slacking for like going beyond they have their cinema line, but like an FX3, I don't think they've made a leap like that yet. So so it'll sit at A tier. Sony, I mean, dude, yeah, I mean, not to be Sony pilled, but I'm just gonna.
He's Sony.
Leica, I mean, fuck. It feels wrong putting Leica in A tier, dude.
Right? I feel like I have to put an S because that's my grail. I want to make
what I'm saying. That's a staple,
when I have the
bro.
money, I would want to make a pilgrimage to Germany and buy a Leica from
That's
the
what I'm
store.
saying.
You know what I mean?
I can't disrespect Leica and how that's why those
There's
two,
history. That's
they
something
have to
you
be
can't.
there.
This
Right,
is my
this is
theory.
Canon. I don't know. I feel like okay, that's gotta be A. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong with Canon at all.
Let's pretend that this. You know what? Let's have some freedom.
Let's
around
have some
here.
freedom.
So let's
This
add
is
that's Samsung.
Samsung.
Is there anything we're missing? You can make it to the D.
Nikon, Fujifilm. I mean, dude,
Samsung. How about we put because we're talking about video stuff.
I'm not
right?
gonna lie. Fujifilm. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna skip all the way. Fujifilm.
Oh, he likes video. I like it.
Dude, come on.
Feels nice.
Come on. Nikon.
Uh-oh.
For me.
The slander continues.
For me,
Hey, Nikon
I'm
sucks.
putting it B.
Oh.
But I know it's been on the rise.
Mhm.
And I
True.
know Nikon's trying to take some names right now.
True.
But I haven't done any research and I don't hear it anymore. So that's my opinion.
Oh.
I'm putting it right here. So that's my S tier. And I think that's a solid S tier.
That's a solid S tier, combining historical,
Yeah.
with the modern, I feel like this is more for professionals and this is more of the hobbyist enthusiasts.
I feel like putting it there and then this is
the line.
Yeah. Actually, I'll do that. You guys, let us know what your opinion is.
None, because none of us have any money to buy any of this.
My opinion is all slander because I can't afford
If
to
you
get any of them.
can't afford that, that sucks. Can't afford that, that shit sucks. That shit sucks. That sucks.
Like if I had all the money in the world, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna get a Sony, I'm gonna get a Fuji, and I'm gonna get a Canon. I thought about this. Okay, I thought about this in the shower the other day. I was like, you know what's crazy? How come we haven't seen any millionaire, billionaire camera hobbyists?
That is so true.
Right?
No, you know why? Because they're so fucking out of touch. They're so out of touch. I hate that our passion slash hobby is the most, in my opinion, consumeristic based art form. The gateway of entry is buy it.
If I had $1 million, right? $1 million or $1 billion, dude. Do you know how much gear I would get for myself, bro?
That's because they're investing it in
Yeah, I know they're being actually smart. They're being actually smart. But I'm like, dude, if I had all that money right now, man,
good for
me. I would. My gear would be crazy, bro. But alas, I do not have $1 million, nor do I have the gear. So that's how we'll enter it. So donate to the Patreon today.
Buy me a cup of coffee.
Yeah, buy me a cup of coffee. I might be able to afford an FX3 one day. That's it.